All right, let me introduce the shit right quick. What up, Estimation Network? We doing the X-Men Apocalypse review, the movie that just came out. I got Mo here, I got Josh here, and I'm your boy Bushido Spirit. We talking about X-Men Apocalypse. We're gonna break this down into several categories I put out. We're gonna first talk about our expectations for the film before it came out, our experiences viewing the film, our first impressions, then we're gonna give our overall thoughts, and from there we're gonna discuss separate things pertaining to the movie, like each individual character. So first we're gonna start off with the expectations. I'm gonna let you go first, Josh.
Alright, my expectation for this movie was very, very low. I thought this movie was gonna be trash. Because Fox has been overdue for a bad X-Men movie. They haven't had a really bad one since, what was it, X-Men Origin Wolverines?
Yeah.
First Class was good. The Wolverine was actually pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was decent. And then Days of Future Past was good. So I said, okay, they overdue for one. And the more and more I saw it, I was like, oh, this movie about to be trash. And you want me to say how I feel about the movie? Or
Oh no, not yet. Just expectations.
Oh yeah, I thought I didn't think it was gonna be Batman versus Superman. Okay, I thought this was gonna be the only movie that could be worse than Batman versus Superman this year. That was my expectations for it.
Okay, now super low, goddamn. Shit, that ain't nothing. All right, we're gonna go over to you, Mo.
All right. You see, the thing is that, like, with BVS, like, all the free trailers they released, I at least like 2 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Shit sound like a disease, BVS.
Yeah, we call it now, the BVS.
I mean, like, I'd rather not mention Batman and Superman when it comes to that movie. But that's an entirely different conversation. Really, like, what I'm saying is that out of the 3 trailers they released for BVS, I liked 2 of them. For X-Men Apocalypse, I liked none of them. All of the trailers were bad. Even the one where they had that little Wolverine, like, bringing out his claws and shit, showing there was going to be a cameo of some sort. Even that one was kind of bad. You see what I'm saying? It was the best out of the 3, I believe, that they released, but it still wasn't good. Yeah, my expectations were very similar to Josh's, just because, yeah, like you said, we've been overdue for a bad X-Men movie. Like, Fox has had a pretty clean slate recently, and everything they've announced has been good. Everything they've released has been good for the last, I'd say, 5 years. Is that safe to say, about the last 5 years?
I mean, it's your opinion. I can't speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, just I'm trying to get a time period, like since like First Class came out. I don't think it's been 5 years since that movie came out.
First Class came out 2011. So yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, so the last 5 years of Fox, like, X-Men related movies have been pretty good. And yeah, that's all I really thought about. I can't provide anything else besides that. So.
All right, man. I had 0 expectations for this fucking film. I didn't even care about X-Men, to tell you the truth. I cared about the first couple of X-Men movies because those were the only movies that we had as far as superheroes go. But now that there's a whole bunch of shit out here, like, I wasn't really interested in this film. I saw the other 2 films when they came to DVD. So, you know, I torrent the fuck out them films. I didn't even see them.
Get them.
I didn't see them films on TV or nothing like that.
Get them. You know the views we have, man? Like, they probably torrented this shit too.
I know, right? But yeah, I had no expectations. I saw the trailers. I'm like, this look like shit, man. This thing Apocalypse looking like Ivan Ooze and shit. I always thought Apocalypse was black. He came from Egypt and shit. So I was like, okay. I mean, I wanted it to be the nigga from Stargate. And when they casted what's old boy name?
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, when they casted Oscar Isaac for it, I was like, yeah. I mean, he not a bad actor, but I felt like he never looked like Apocalypse, because Apocalypse had those big ass lips. I mean, we gonna get to that.
I mean, all right, cool. I mean, I was just gonna say, like, him as an actor, like, I knew he could play a villain just because of, like, I don't know if you saw Ex Machina. Have you seen that movie?
Well, I know you're talking about it with the robot chick. But we're not talking about his acting. I'm talking about just his appearance alone. I'm not talking about his acting.
Oh, right. Yeah, true.
And then he got them thin ass lips. Like, Apocalypse got them fat ass lips, man. Them nigga lips.
Like, the problem was they picked a Hispanic nigga for a nigga role. That's what happened, man.
Yeah, like, so I was like, okay. And the trailers I seen, I was like, I don't really like. I like that in your face, raw, grimy, practical effects type of thing. I don't like. Yeah. I don't like a shit ton of CG. I hated fucking House of the Flying Daggers and what's that shit called? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I hated that shit. I don't like rope tricks and all that shit.
To be fair, looking at Apocalypse, he really isn't all that much CG. Like, really, a lot of it is just makeup and it's just like traditional, man. It's not digitally added on. Like, most of it is just things that they've actually made and face makeup and stuff.
This nigga Mo trying to fight me already on this shit. I know how you feel. Well, tell it.
I'm looking at it.
I see what you mean now, but
this nigga telegraphing the fuck out of his opinion, dog.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Nigga ready to defend this movie. Well, anyway.
Go ahead, man.
I wasn't even talking about Apocalypse. I was talking about the actual effects and shit that he does, the use of his powers and stuff like that. They should have used CG on that nigga because he looked nothing like Apocalypse to me. But anyway.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
Anyway, we gonna move on now. We put our expectations out there now. How did you feel actually viewing the film? Were you bored? Did you feel unsettled? What are your thoughts on viewing the film? We're gonna start off with you, Mo, first.
I feel as if as soon as I started watching the movie, really, like, it's not like the MCU where they like, regardless whether you get an Avengers, Captain America, or Iron Man movie every few years, like, you get an MCU movie roughly around every 3 or 4 months, right? Uh-huh. So it's like you never truly feel disconnected from that universe. But the thing is that, like, the massive gap in time in between an X-Men movie, right? Like, you get disconnected from the universe, and it's a lot easier to be like, do I really want to see another X-Men movie? Because you've forgotten how much you enjoyed the movies they released before it, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as I started watching the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why I like this. Oh yeah, I remember this guy, he was really good. Oh look, it's Michael Fassbender, I like him when he plays this character. But, like, before that, like I told you, I didn't have much hope or anything for the movie, but then, like, as I was viewing it, it became more and more evident that I do like the universe regardless of the many problems that it does have.
Oh, okay. I see. You like the characters. You can overlook everything else if the characters are good. All right.
No. Like, not that I can overlook everything, but I definitely did not appreciate the fact that I liked certain characters as much as I did until I watched the movie.
Okay. All right. Josh, what about you?
Similar to what Mo said. Like, when I first saw the last X-Men movie, or the last X-Men movie was Deadpool. But the last time we saw these characters was 2 years ago, in 2014.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it's like, I'm watching the movie. That first scene in Egypt, like I said, this movie is about to be bad. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting the whole time just to rip this movie a new one when I'm done. Same. All my friends kept saying, oh, it's not going to be bad. I'm like, wow, it's going to be bad. I'm waiting the whole movie. I'm watching Kira. I'm going to rip this shit a new one when it's done. First movie, there was in Egypt. The first scene, I was like, oh, this is actually a pretty good scene. I liked it.
Okay.
And then it's like, it's slowly, like, one problem all three of these movies had, First Class, Days of Future Past, this one, they all pretty much have the same first act where they had to put the team back together.
Oh, yeah. Like,
and I think that's what gave it that slow, like, it felt slow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's
I feel as if, like, I agree with that 100%, but, like, this movie made a little bit more sense for why it was slow, because it was actually introducing new characters. Days of Future Past and First Class have pretty much been the same cast.
Look at Mo, man. Let Josh give his viewing out, nigga. We ain't debating.
No, I mean, I want to hear what he thinks. This is the reason I'm saying it. Like, I want to hear what he thinks. You see what I'm saying?
This nigga Mo, boy. Every time.
George, like, can't I say this, man? Can't I ask? Do you think that it makes it any better that they introduce new characters and they're setting up and getting the team back together? Do you think that it changes anything about it?
I mean, it does, but it's like I said, it's a trilogy, and these three movies all have the same first act, where they have to put the team together. You get to see what the status quo is with everyone before the big threat happens.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, I mean, I like the new characters, I like the old characters, but that gave it that slow feel for me. I was like, oh, this movie, like, it wasn't bad, it was just like, oh, can we hurry this up? Like, but, like I said, I love Magneto. To me, the Michael Fassbender, he's my favorite X-Men actor in all of them. I like him more than Hugh Jackman. I don't care. He's the best one. I liked him. We had to see what Mystique was doing. I like Jennifer Lawrence. And I like all the new characters they introduced. So, yeah. Like I said, it just felt slow watching it. It was my first time watching it.
All right, I mean, I definitely agree with it feeling slow, and the first act was kind of cool to me. Okay, I was like, okay, that looked kind of cool, and I'm curious to know about the mutants that he had in there protecting him when the people revolted and tried to squish that nigga.
No, those people suck, man. I hate those niggas suck. I was like,
niggas had some cool ass power. I mean, they suck because they died, but they had some cool ass powers.
Look. One nigga's power was, a brick fell on me. I caught it and my teeth came out. Like, I was like, what is that? That shit lame, man.
Well, you like the power that chick bought that nigga up and threw.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't want to see any more of this. Just show me some more Magneto stuff. I don't care about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of side niggas. That's what it is. I don't like that.
Yeah, but I forgot to mention during my expectations that a lot of people was piling on this film and saying it was shit, it was trash. So I came here with super low expectations, super duper low. Like, so I didn't expect nothing from this shit. Like I said before, but I was watching it and I didn't hate it, but I didn't feel excitement like I felt watching other films.
Definitely.
Like, so I mean, it was just like mad at me. But there was parts in there that I fuck with. Like I did fuck with the whole Quicksilver shit. I always like Quicksilver parts when he frees time and does a little thing, little comedy bits he had there. That shit was kind of funny. And of course, Magneto, Michael Fassbender is always killing it with his thing. But I feel like he didn't really do much this film.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I was gonna say that he didn't. Well, because he was the main villain, probably, but he didn't. Like, First Class, he completely took over the movie. Days of Future Past, I feel like once he got introduced, he took over the movie again. I didn't feel like he took over this movie.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't take over at all.
Wait, which character are we talking about right now?
Magneto.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he took over the first act. You know, when it pretty much became a Magneto story with his family and stuff. Yeah, and then they had that story going on.
I mean, during that part, I was like, what the fuck? I didn't think he took over. I was like, where is Apocalypse at?
The whole time, the whole movie, I didn't feel like he didn't stand out as the best actor like he did the last two.
Oh, that makes sense. But like, watching it, I kind of felt as if it was like. There were only a certain amount of characters that could be at the forefront, and I feel as if as soon as Magneto tagged out, Apocalypse tagged in, if that makes sense. Like, as soon as they met each other, like, Magneto stopped being as big a character he was in the movie. And, Apocalypse just became a bigger character.
Yeah, one thing I noticed was like, damn, this nigga Apocalypse smooth as fuck with he a pimp. You saw how he was pimping everybody and shit. He was going to each person and pimping the fuck
out of them. Hey, man, tell you that power of persuasion. People asked me, what's Apocalypse power? I said the power of persuasion. Oh, yeah. People laughed at me.
It was like, hey, man, I mean, I can make you better. I can take you places in the world. You need me. I can make you strong. Like, he was a pimp, man.
He was this universe's, like, he was that mutant sugar daddy. He just appear and be like, I can give you this. Yeah. I can give you that. He just show up and be like, oh, Storm, you could be so much more. Turns her hair white. Like, it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we gonna get all the individual characters, but I did notice that, you know, Storm, all the minority characters in the background, I was like, what the fuck, man? Them motherfuckers ain't get no play. I was like, Storm, one of the most powerful people there. And this bitch is cowering behind the goddamn building and shit when Apocalypse was going ham. And Jubilee, they showed a second of her. And that was
you want to know something? I counted how many lines she had in the movie. You want to know how many she had?
0.
1.
She had one line. What she said? She said
when they went to the mall, man.
Yeah, she had a single line.
Apparently, they had like a whole 15-minute scene of the Teenage Mutants at the mall, but they cut it out.
You want to know what doesn't make any sense to me? The thing is that even though she only had one line, whenever they're doing the press tours, whenever they're doing the interviews, whenever they're doing all of that stuff with X-Men Apocalypse, she's there. And it's just like, why are you here? You had no bigger role.
I think they trying to sell this whole diversity thing.
They cut her role out. Like I said, they had like a whole 15-minute sequence of all like Nightcrawler on them at the mall. They cut it out.
But no one has questions for her.
Yeah, that to me still ain't enough. Even if they would have kept that still wouldn't have been enough because there would have been other characters there overshadowing her anyway. But I felt, but it was funny because they had all these. They had Storm and that chick finding the boy. She bad in the motherfucker outside. Woohoo! I saw in the mall. I still in them trailers.
Can I ask you a question? Did y'all have that thing before your movie started where the person that played Storm gave like a brief? thing about how the movie was made or something?
Well, yeah, me and Mo saw a special.
Yeah, we watched it on secret Netflix.
Huh?
You watched it on secret Netflix, man.
Y'all downloaded it. Y'all ain't going to the movie.
Hey, while you playing that that downloaded copy was good in the motherfucker.
It was great. It was great. It even had the end credit and everything. Like, it had everything.
I was like, this shit is good.
So I'm the only one that actually went to the movie. I'm the one that actually goes to the movie.
Yeah, but you know, I went to see Civil War.
No, let me say this before any of you people start judging me. All right, I'm gonna say this. I only watched this movie because you niggas asked me to. Like, I need you to say that. Me and Bush only watched this because you niggas were asking for it. We had no intention to watch this movie, but we did.
Hey, yo, but I will say that I heard about that whole thing through another review. I heard that I heard people talk about how Storm was promoting the film before the film started. So I know what you're talking about.
Seeing people in the movie feel like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, but that makes me so angry.
No, that let me know right there. Like, well, I'm not saying let me know. That like gave me like even further like, oh, this movie about to be ass. They over here trying to explain to us how the movie was made.
But the shit make me angry because they try to make it seem like this movie is diverse as shit by having Storm do all this press for her. But the bitch ain't even in the film that much. She was.
She kind of was. Yeah, like, and to be honest, it's kind of building on the fact that there are like 3 movies at this point that feature Halle Berry as her. It's like, we don't need to tell you that much. You know mostly about like everything that happens after this.
Nigga, this is a whole new beginning. Stop it, Mo.
But they connected it in Days of Future Past. They connected it back, man. So she grows up to be Halle Berry.
But it's a whole different future now.
Halle Berry didn't do shit in them films, but say corny, cheesy ass lines.
Oh my! Look, you are not about to argue with me about this. I hate Halle Berry in those movies. Halle Berry was whack. The nigga that played Cyborg was whack. Cyclops was whack. The nigga that played the bitch that played Rogue was whack. Who else was bad in that? The only person that I liked in that was Wolverine, and I liked Beast. That was it. And the nigga that played Professor X and Magneto. Those niggas.
I like fucking Jean Grey. Jean Grey was fine.
I don't like her evil.
I saw her in Falcon. I was like, goddamn.
Yeah, you know what she looked like? She looked like a bootleg Sandra Bullock to me. I don't know what it was about her face.
She looked better than Sandra. Are you on crack?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No, that's what she looked like to me. I didn't like her at all, man.
Well, you don't get the fuck up out of here with your goddamn your British preferences, nigga. Get that shit out of here, dog.
Yeah, man. I don't know about her.
She look like a hot milk.
What we talk about the movie?
No, I was gonna say that the shit made me mad. They had all these women of color promoting this shit, but them bitches was barely in the film, and that shit kind of made me angry watching the film. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay. I was like, that kind of threw me off a little bit. But seeing the film, like I said, it was mad, and the CG was a little bit too much. It felt like
some of the CG was straight up bad, man. Like, it just didn't look good.
It felt like they didn't do enough during the filming it, and they added a bunch of shit at the end. Like, it didn't feel like it didn't seem like they planned all that CG though. It shit just.
Well, one scene I remember clearly that looked really bad to me was remember when near the end of the film when Professor X tells Jean Grey that she doesn't need to hold back anymore, and then she starts walking on thin air, holding herself up. That shit looked terrible to me. It was just like, what is this, man? It looks terrible. Like, it was clearly a set there that was like green screen that just got digitally removed or some shit like that. Like, it just looked so bad to me.
Yeah,
it's just like, this doesn't look right.
But what you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, just the film itself. What I liked about it is that it like if what?
Nigga, we didn't even get there yet, dog. That's the next thing I was finna say.
Oh, go ahead.
And you cut me off to crowbar your shit in. I was gonna say.
But you complain a lot this podcast.
I'm complaining, bitch, because you act like you ain't never did this before, nigga. Anyway,
it's been 2 weeks, man. But continue.
Anyway, I was gonna ask everybody their overall opinion of the film, man. Since you were so anxious, Mo, you can go first, nigga.
Oh no, go ahead. We're following the pattern here, Josh. I want to hear what you think.
Take your ass on, Mo. Get your opinion.
I don't have an opinion anymore. I want to hear what Josh has to say, man.
Right, go ahead, Josh. This nigga true.
Alright, like I said, I thought this was going to be the worst movie of the year. I went to the movie theater. I watched it. I came out, and I said, you know what? That wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it.
That was your first impression?
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't great. it wasn't like. I still think Civil War is gonna be the best superhero movie of the year. I think Deadpool is still better than it. It's definitely not as bad as Batman vs Superman. Like it was all right. It was a good, decent 6.5, 7.5.
Yeah, it was average. Yeah.
I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
I'll watch it again. Yeah.
My question is do you think the fact that you had such low expectations going into the film had any effect on your grade?
No, because I was actually looking. When I have low expectations for a movie, I go and look at to make sure I'm right.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just curious, man. Like,
no, when I think something's gonna be bad, I go in there looking to prove why it's bad.
Certain.
That's everywhere, man.
When I say it sucks. So when I say it sucks, people are like, no, I know it sucks. I'm like, word, I can point to these exact scenes right here.
This right here, right
here. You know what? That's exactly what happens when you're watching a movie that you like. Because you'll be watching that being like, oh, that scene was pretty bad, but next scene will be good. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, it wasn't bad. I liked it. It was a good movie. It was just good. Like, was it great? Was it bad? It was just good. Like.
All right, Mo. What about you?
All right. I feel very similar to George, so I'm not gonna just repeat what he said. That's how I feel as well.
Okay.
But really, something that I can say, but I don't think Josh did, is that I feel as if this movie really feels as if it's what he wanted his last stand to be, like his third and final.
Did he?
Was his third
wait. Did he do Last Stand?
No. What he did was X1 and X2, and then I think he did Superman Returns instead of coming back for the third
all
X-Men
them bad movies, goddamn. Superman.
I like X1 and 2, but the thing is, it feels as if this movie doesn't feel like a post MCU movie. You see what I'm saying? Like a movie that holds the source material so closely, but modernizes it to fit the type of era that it's set in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm actually about that after this right here.
Yeah. It feels like a film that could have easily come out in the same, around the same time where films like Ghost Rider and Blade were coming out. Those movies, it feels like a movie that could have come out around that time. It does not feel like it doesn't feel like it's in the same universe as Deadpool.
I mean, it ain't. Well, did they confirm that it was part of the same universe? Oh.
Deadpool was part of the X-Men universe.
Yeah, that shit don't even fit.
That's how comic books are though. Like you have your lighthearted comic books, you have your dark and heavy, gritty ones, and they all in the same universe.
Yep. And I feel as if this movie cemented something else that I realized in Days of Future Past is that, to an extent, when you're watching an MCU movie, you have to understand that they're not going to adapt the source material exactly. But when you're watching an X-Men movie, you have to understand that they're not even going to give you the characters the way they are. You see what I'm saying? They'll change way more than the MCU possibly would in anything. So it's if you just appreciate it for what it is and just kind of like what they give you, I mean, you'll enjoy the movies. But if I came in looking for something that was the same exact comic book story of Age of Apocalypse and stuff like that, I'll be hugely disappointed. And I feel as if, unlike Josh, I feel as if my low expectations did make me like this movie even more. Because I was looking at every scene, and it's I was expecting it to be as bad as the beginning scene, because I didn't like that beginning scene. The one with Apocalypse and him being transferred from one body to another.
Uh-huh.
I didn't like that at all, and I'm if the rest of the movie is going to be like this, I'm not going to. And I feel as if the movie won me over later on. And even then I have problems with it. But overall, yeah, it's a good movie. I'd watch it again, but not anytime soon. I still like Civil War more than it. Still like Deadpool more than it. I mean, I still like scenes from BVS more than it. But overall, as a movie, right? Yeah. I think it's probably the third best superhero movie this year. Yeah, definitely. Around there.
You just started. What the fuck?
There's already been 4 superhero movies.
Exactly.
True, yeah, you're right. They all came out early and shit.
Really, the only things we have left are Doctor Strange and Suicide Squad. There's not much to add on to the list.
Well, I can't wait for Suicide Squad.
They don't go for summer blockbusters no more.
Yeah, superhero movies. But let me give my opinion on it now. I felt a similar way to y'all, but I felt like this right here is no longer acceptable. He should have upped the ante a little bit after those first 2 films. This should have been the best film in the series. Because those other films was set up to me. for the finale, and this should have been good. This should have been one of the best films out here. And I felt
this
like
kind of oh my bad.
No,
I was gonna say this because the way they introducing the new characters stuff. This kind of felt like a setup film too.
Go ahead, Josh. Interrupt Bush. I do all the time, man. Go ahead.
I don't believe this is no longer acceptable as far as superhero films go. We've seen that they can be real good and they can have, they can be great. They can be just great overall films. And this nigga has been getting the pass on like his X-Men films because
he's been making the same X-Men movie.
He only had 3 movies. They're all good.
They be giving this nigga compliments for years about, man. These aren't good superhero films. These are just good films, period. Because he don't really add in the superhero elements. He don't really go full fledged for the material. He kind of makes his own thing.
Exactly. Look at it from the writing, right? Like the only reason Magneto as a character is as good as he is because Michael Fassbender is playing him. Really, just look at the story they've given him for every movie he's appeared in. Oh, my parents got killed in the concentration camp, and guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna keep giving me family, and they're gonna take it away, and then the X-Men are gonna be like, you're worth so much more, Eric. You can be an X-Man, and he's gonna be like, no, bro, I'm not gonna be an X-Man. It's like you gotta be an X-Man, bro, and he just leaves at the end of the movie, like every time.
And I feel like shit like that is no longer acceptable now. Like now that we had good films out here, like we've seen how good superhero movies can be when they stay true to the source material. I feel like this nigga can no longer get a pass. Like if you're gonna go your own way, you gotta make the film good. I felt like this was just average and it needed to be better after seeing the other films that came before it. So I kind of docket some points just for that alone. Like come on, you can't be dropping mediocre shit, nigga. You can't be just getting by, dog. Like, come on.
This movie almost felt like I don't know, man. Like it almost felt like a demo reel of like Bryan Singer's entire like Fox X-Men career. It's just like we gotta have the Phoenix in here, and we gotta have all this other stuff from our other movies.
That shit. I was like the Phoenix nigga already. This bitch is new. She fleshed out the womb. The Phoenix already? Like
I don't know, man. And I feel as if he just had too much. He's like, oh, and people love that 90s X-Men series. We gotta have Jubilee in it. Then we gotta have a Gambit solo movie. Then we gotta have this, and we gotta have that.
I say, from here on out, I think the X-Men movies are gonna be great because they're gonna get new directors and they're gonna take place in the 90s.
Oh, definitely. And also, I feel as if I need to say this is that you realize since they gave Jubilee no role in this movie, we're not going to see her do anything in any movie after this because they keep skipping 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, like Jubilee's not going to be Jubilee anymore. She's going to be a grown-ass woman.
What they do is they get to the 90s and they stay there. I hope they stay in the 90s. Don't go to 2000. Don't do that.
Oh, okay. Now I just remember something else I don't like. You know that scene where it's like Quicksilver has the opportunity to tell Magneto that he's his son, and he just doesn't?
I fucking hated that. We're gonna get Mo. Say that. We're gonna get to that. I'll give everything away.
All right.
Because we're gonna go to each individual character.
Okay.
But
interesting.
But yeah, I think we pretty much talked about our overall thoughts. Now let's get to the character breakdown. We're gonna start off with Mystique. And I'm just gonna tell you what she did in the film. Basically, she was in charge of getting the team back together. She didn't. What did she start the film off trying to get the team together?
No, she was just saving mutants.
Okay.
Being remember like how Nightcrawler and Angel were forced to fight in that cage and shit.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
She was on her bullshit. Look, I'm an X-Man, but I'm not an X-Man at the same time because being an X-Man means I have to say I'm good. Like I want to be like Magneto.
The whole world saw her as a hero since he stopped Magneto from killing Nixon.
Oh, thank you for reminding me about that lame-ass poster that Storm had on her room of like Mystique. Like I'm like, I was like, that's how you know this universe is weak. That's how you know this universe doesn't have a Captain America. It doesn't have an Iron Man. It doesn't have a Spider-Man. When in your room you have a poster of Mystique. That
shit. I'm like, what the Mystique is y'all hero, nigga? Like, come on. You know they part of the same MCU because if it was, this shit is in the 80s anyway. It can't even be a part of that same shit. But That's all. I was confused about the Deadpool shit. Like, when did Deadpool happen?
Now.
Like, when the fuck are they gonna get to like just the current shit? Anyway. But
I mean, really, like you just asked the question. Like with the Deadpool thing, they don't need to abide by the rules of time or anything.
You're right.
That nigga could just walk in and be like, "Oh, I guess this movie came out before I even existed, but I'm here anyway." And he just proceeds with what he's gonna do, man.
Yeah, that nigga literally has no rules to his. But let's talk about Mystique, and I'm gonna start with John. What was your opinion of Mystique and everything? Go ahead.
I would say this time it actually did kind of make sense why she wasn't blue for most of the movie.
Yeah, they kind of put that in there, but you know that was a contract thing. Like, come on.
Yeah, because no, Jennifer Lawrence said she hates putting on the makeup. That's why all the other movies she's not blue a lot.
That shit look ugly anyway. By the way, that makeup look ugly as shit.
Oh my god! You see, when people say stuff like that, it's like, from a business standpoint, like when Jennifer Lawrence says she doesn't want to do something, you stop that completely, right? But in my head, I'm like, if Jennifer Lawrence doesn't want to do what they're telling her to do, then fire Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, fire her.
You can't do that. She's the biggest name actor they got.
I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. But it's just like, I don't like that bitch, man. Like, come on, the niggas and shit. Fuck you, Jennifer Lawrence.
I mean, listen, when you get that big of an actor, you have that pull.
Name me one thing that's popular that she did besides Hunger Games, man.
All them love movies she be doing with Bradley Cooper every fucking Christmas.
Hey man, only one of those is good. Like
she does them every year.
Nah, I feel like Hollywood is trying to push her hard as shit, and I'm not feeling.
She is a very good actor.
No, she's not, Josh.
Well, she's good. I'm not gonna say she's bad. She's good.
She's not bad. She average. She's nothing special about her to me.
You know what my problem with Jennifer Lawrence is? My problem is that this bitch has easily one of the most unlikable faces in Hollywood. Period.
Oh yeah, she does.
when I look at her, I'm like, this bitch was built to be a librarian. I don't know what it is.
What? What the hell are you? How'd you go there?
I don't know, man. Like, he just has that face, man. Like
the type. I don't know. Librarians and shit, nigga.
I don't know, man. Like she got that face that tells you to shut the fuck up when you talking to the library. I don't like her face, man. I don't like her face at all.
They got that stuck up face, though. Like,
she got. I don't know, man. But like, she looked like she was meant to have a powerful chin, but she doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. Like, she looks way older than she does, but she isn't. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know what the fuck you talking about right now, Mo.
I don't know. I just don't like how she looks, and here's my problem with it.
I actually like Jennifer Lawrence.
I mean, but here's the thing, like. It's annoying because it's like when she's playing the Mystique character, I like Mystique, but I don't like Jennifer Lawrence. So it's like, I like who you're playing, but I don't like you.
I don't like either of them motherfuckers. Like,
Oh, but here's another thing I have to say. I don't like the design for Mystique, but she's had the same design since the movies were created, so I can't really complain about that now.
I mean, the other chick looked better in the makeup. She was fine as hell.
She wasn't a character though. She was not a character.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. She looked bad in that paint.
I remember they had one scene where, like, you know, they had that shot that would like take away your powers and stuff like that, and she just drops down naked or some shit. I remember they had that scene. I can't remember what movie that was in.
But you know what? I do understand why she didn't like putting that shit on, because that shit take fucking...
It take like 5 hours.
Yeah, to put that ugly ass shit on. So
you want to know what the best part is? When she was like, hey, I don't want to wear that blue shit. You know that nigga that plays Beast was like, I don't want to do that either.
No, Beast shit look good. Like, I don't know why they put them little sequences and them fucking sparkly things on her body. Like, what the fuck?
No, but you don't hear what he said? Like, that nigga in the movie was just like, I can control it now or something like that when he drinks like a chemical of some sort.
No, yeah, pretty much. Let me talk about Beast. Beast should already be. Hold on. He should not be the Hulk, dog.
Hold up, John. We jumping ahead. Hold on. Let's finish off Mystique right quick.
I said she was she got forced into a role where she had to be the leader, which, I mean, it kind of a little bit goes full circle with her starting off with Charles in first class. I guess at the end of the movie she stays with him. It kind of, as you say, but we never saw her as a villain. At the end of first class, she went with Magneto. The Days of Future Past, she went right back to saving mutants. So it was like, we never really saw her as the villain. And so we can't really say she went full circle.
And I think they fucked up with that. Like, Mystique is not no fucking. I don't think she ain't even a part of the X-Men. I don't think. For real.
No, she isn't.
So like,
she's part of the Brotherhood.
You see, this doesn't make sense to me, man. It doesn't make sense why Mystique is supposed to be this important. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't.
It's like, I understand you have like Jennifer Lawrence and everything like that, but you also have Michael Fassbender and you have all of these other people that, you know what I mean, like based off characters and other people you cast.
See,
you know
my thing is, you don't have to make her the star. You can put her in the background, like Michael Fassbender. Well, he not really in the background, but you can make her a side.
He kind of was in this movie. We talked about that. He kind of was in the background for a long time.
You can still get a great performance out of a person that's a star.
Exactly.
You don't have to make them the center of the fucking film. Like, they stupid for that stupid ass shit. I done did that.
They made her
shit.
the center of all three.
Yeah, like, man, put her ass in the background, the ugly ass blue paint on. Like, if the bitch don't want to wear the shit, put it in the background.
Oh, good. I'm looking at it in my head, man. Like, I don't mind her being blue, but like the color is just shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like
terrible.
some Dior blue.
And they put them shitty ass effects on it. But anyway, we can move on past her. I hated her fucking character. I didn't want her to be in charge of anything.
What character?
Exactly. I hated whatever fuck she was playing. And she not no goddamn leader of the X-Men. And she not no idol, no pop star. I don't know why the fuck kids looking up to her.
It's like, everyone ignoring the fact that she a hoe too, man. She fucking with like 3 different niggas in that one match, man. I don't even know, man.
Oh yeah, she was getting around, but I
with that nigga Beast and that nigga Professor X at some point, and then that nigga Magneto. I don't even know, man. She was crazy.
I felt kind of. Let's go straight into Beast since I think Josh itching to talk about it. You go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, but Beast, that pissed me off. Beast should stay blue. He's not the Hulk. He don't just get angry, turn to. I'm tired. No. And they set up perfectly. In first class, he took the serum and messed up. He turned blue. Okay, he should have stayed that way forever. He shouldn't be able to throw back.
There were no consequences. You want to know what changed after that? Directors. That nigga was just like, no, I'm not going to have a constantly blue Beast in my movie. And he just changed it completely.
Yeah, like, I feel like these are people that don't really care about the source material and it just was trying to make a film. Like, fuck them niggas, man. Keep that nigga
I know, like, me and Josh talked about this before. It's like, you don't need to adapt the comics exactly. You just need to respect it. You know what I mean? Don't disrespect the comic books it's based off. You can mess around with it. But don't just fuck it up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you can fuck with it, but don't change the essence of the character, nigga. Like, don't do that dumb shit. Like, come on. But yeah,
change your roles completely.
He didn't really do nothing in this movie.
Yeah, he did.
Also, the whole thing you said about Beast, but what I think is that Beast is like, he isn't the Hulk. He's more like She-Hulk in the sense that, like, at one point, She-Hulk had the option to go back to being human, but she takes pride in herself being green. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with Beast. He just accepts the fact that he's a beast. And like, Lost Stand is a terrible movie, but the one thing that it got right was Beast. That nigga would wear a full-on suit and hold a briefcase and wear his glasses and shit and walk down the street as Beast. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's how it should be.
I'm Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh god, that line.
but yeah, Beast was simping this whole movie. He was trying to get into Mystique panties this whole film, dog. Every chance he got, he was trying to give her little compliments and shit and make her accept her blue essence so they could be together, they could be the same. And shit like that.
He didn't even accept his blue stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, he kind of fucked it up, yeah.
You know what my favorite moment between those two was? Like, my favorite moment between the two of them was when both of them, like, acknowledged the fact that they both are blue, and then that nigga Nightcrawler just like, I'm blue. I'm blue. I'm just like, yeah, you are blue. Good job, man. Poor the blue niggas for being blue.
Yeah, but yeah, like Josh said, Beast ain't do shit this film but simp around and try to get the affection.
He got Psylocke gave him that work at the end.
Oh yeah, Psylocke did give him some of the business, but that fight was trash.
I like that fight.
We should talk. We should make a whole different segment for the fight and choreograph and shit, all of that shit. But yeah, we anything else on Beast, man? Like anything else?
He ain't do nothing. What are they talking about?
All right, let's move right into Magneto. All right, I'm gonna start off with Magneto. I felt like Magneto was the only person in this film that I somewhat liked. I liked a little bit because I appreciated that whole story with him trying to start a family. He actually took Professor Xavier's advice and tried to assimilate into the human world and be like them. I kind of fuck with that. And, the scene where they kill his family off and he takes that necklace and goes through all them dudes' necks, that shit was crazy to me. Like, I fuck with all of that. And when he went back to what's that? The fucking cement mill, whatever the fuck, the machine thing where he worked at.
Yeah.
I like
that. Was
that.
an oil mine, wasn't he? Well, he was like digging up oil, wasn't it?
I think he was doing some shit, but I kind of like that scene too. How he threatened to kill all them dudes there. That shit was all that shit was good to me. But after that scene, he didn't do a damn thing. Like it was just where the fuck is like, and he was the center of the rest of the films. Like he made those films good. His relationship with Professor X, them two sort of made the films, and I felt like I kind of like why you put him in the background. I didn't like that.
You just made me realize something, man. Like he really did just do that. Like at one point, remember when I said as soon as Magneto taps out, Apocalypse taps in? Like what you said is exact. Like that nigga Magneto is just like he's just like, okay, I'm gonna roll with you, Apocalypse, and he didn't do shit after that.
yeah. And
that's really what he did. He's a background nigga looking cool. That's what he was doing.
Hey, and somebody mentioned that his philosophy and Apocalypse philosophy is completely different, because he wants to bring all the mutants together. He like Malcolm X. He accepts all mutants for who they are. This nigga Apocalypse,
the strong ones.
Yeah, this nigga Apocalypse trying to do a color. He's trying to weed them niggas out with me. Just keep the strong.
And like, if you really sit back and think about it, Apocalypse's plan was dumb as hell. So like, let's put it this way. Like Magneto's entire thing, like you said, is that he believes like if the world hates us, they must accept us for what we are. We are Homo superior. We're the next stage of human evolution, and we should be above the regular citizen, not below them, right? But the thing with Apocalypse is like, I guess we're gonna kill everyone, and whoever survives, we can be cool with this. It's like, what if no one survives?
It's the same. It's kind of the same thing as what's the name's playing from First Class. Sebastian Shaw started nuclear war, and only the mutants would survive, and then we just build a new world with them.
Hey, yo, but wait. Man, Mo, you always derailing the conversation, nigga. Like, we're not talking about Apocalypse right now, nigga.
I wasn't talking about Apocalypse. I was talking about how, we talked about the conflicting ideals, and then we talked about how Magneto shouldn't be with Apocalypse to begin with, and then I just went on from that. That's all it was.
Well, you did talk about Apocalypse plan and stuff. Who's gonna get to that? But anyway,
okay,
man. Wait, what? I think the call fucking up now. What is that? Y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought it was fucking up. But yeah, I mean, let's continue with Magneto. Give us your thoughts on Magneto. Don't bring in anybody else's thing in there. Just Magneto.
I mean, just Magneto. I feel like by far my favorite part of the film, strangely enough, was the stuff that wasn't the part that wasn't Magneto, like where he was just Eric and he was raising a family. He had a kid. It was just kind of like, it was kind of nice. Like the guy, like obviously there's been quite a bit of time in between First Class. Not First Class. We have First Class and now, and it's just like this man's finally managed to find some form of happiness and stuff like that. He's settled down, found a woman that accepts him as who he is. It's not like some relationship where he's kept it secret, where he is a mutant or anything like that. But and then just to see that taken away from him, and like I said, it's a redundant plot line, but you can't help but feel sorry for Michael Fassbender's character, because it's like he delivers the performance so well, where he's just screaming after his families and stuff like that. And it's just like, is this what he looks up at God and he's just like, is this what you want? Is this how my life's supposed to be? And he's just like, oh, it was so much. It was so cool.
What about you, Josh?
I like the beginning with him with the family and everything and all that stuff. I just don't buy that he gets there. I don't buy that he does that. I don't buy that he goes away and starts a family with a human. I don't buy it. Like, I love everything about it. I just don't buy from the way the first two movies that's where he ends up being the star of this movie. I don't buy it.
That was a setup to get him with Apocalypse. I think that's all that was. Yeah.
I mean, but his whole, because like the world is basically what Professor Xavier was telling him the entire time. Humans and mutants could live together. He's like, no, we can't. We're above them. And then it's like the movie starts off and he's living with humans. It's like, no, that's not. I just don't buy it.
But to be fair, like his daughter was a mutant, so I don't know.
Yeah, was his wife a mutant? No,
but still.
Even remember when he told Mystique in First Class? He said she's more attractive when she's blue. He don't like humans.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, that's a beautiful slide. It's like the black is the berry, the sweet juice, man. That's
racist.
Beautiful.
That's the most racist shit I ever heard that nigga say.
That is racist.
Really? That's really the most racist thing you've heard the Jewish man say?
Hey, but you got to give him a pass because you know he been hated against. So you like, man, fuck it. I prefer my mutant brothers and shit, man. Like,
that nigga straight out the Holocaust, man.
Look at Mystique, this beautiful blue black woman. Like, you know, what I mean? It's just
strong independent blue, strong independent blue woman.
Yeah, strong independent blue woman. Yeah,
that's what that bitch Mystique is.
But yeah, let's move on to the next character, man. I think we said enough about Manny. Let's go on to
Professor X.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, you can start it off, Mo.
I'm really impressed with his performances, man. I feel as if I really like him. I like him more as this teacher instead of just being a person that works as a part of the team. I don't know if you necessarily understand what I'm saying. Like, I like him being sort of a person that sits back in his wheelchair and guides the younger students to do all the cool action stuff instead of being the guy that has to be there in the X-Men suit and fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel as if him being that wise sort of Yoda person that provides the training and advice and all of that is far more interesting than just seeing him as, do you know what I mean, someone that's there doing all of that action. Like the part where he let Jean Grey do what she needs to do, the part where he guided Scott Summers, like after he said that was my grandfather's favorite tree or something like that. That's my favorite tree, and then he's like Scott Summers like splits that in two. He's like, oh, does that mean I'm does that mean I'm expelled? And he's like, no, that means you're enrolled. And I think that was just a cool moment. Like, he had loads of cool moments of just him playing this older character. I feel as if he's far better at playing a mentor over just being, I don't know, like unequal. Like I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but yeah, continue.
About the figure, what you talking about?
I don't know. I feel as if it's. I like him more when people look to him for guidance and they're younger than him.
Instead of him being on the front lines.
Exactly, and I feel as if it makes more sense when students look up to him instead of him having to provide guidance to a grown-ass Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like, you shouldn't be guiding this man that's lived probably more years than you on what he should do with his goddamn life.
Trying to guide Wolverine and shit in the first films.
Exactly, and it's just like, no. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe when you're old-ass, bold, like, what's it called, Professor Xavier, then it makes sense, because, like, you've lived for, like, 60 years at this point, and you can give someone like that advice, but not at this point. You see what I'm saying? That's all I really want to say.
What about you?
What about you, Josh?
Yeah,
I pretty much feel the same way. I think this is the best Professor X been in all three of the movies. Like I said, he's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, First Class, he was good. Days of Future Past, he was good, but I really liked him in this movie. And I like that he wasn't. I mean, he fought Apocalypse, but it was a mind battle. It wasn't him actually there in the front fighting.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense. I don't want to see, like, it never ends well for him when he's on the battlefield. You know what I mean? Like, first time he did it, he lost his legs, didn't he?
Yeah, like, that's the total right there. Don't ever fight in the front lines again.
That shit felt like a wrestling match. Apocalypse was beating the shit out of his ass. I was like, when fucking Jean Grey came in, I felt like he tagged her in and some shit. No, that shit.
That nigga was, like, here's the fact. I feel as like the big difference between him now and him, especially in Days of Future Past. Like, in Days of Future Past, he was a broken man. You see what I mean? Like, everyone left him. Like, the woman that he loved, like, he had to erase her memories. All of these different things happened. Some of his X-Men got killed. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like, his life was at ultimate low in Days of Future Past. And just to be able to see a confident Professor X was just really good. Like, everything that he said and did, he knew he was doing. Like, when Apocalypse tells him to tell the world that he's about to take it over, that nigga changes at the end, and he's just like, if you have the power, protect those that don't. And I'm like, damn, this nigga's Professor X. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, he's delivering the lines the way he should. Like, he's a confident adult that believes in the students and believes what he's doing is right, and he isn't broken.
I mean, he was alright. I mean, I didn't really notice him like that much. He didn't really take over the film. He was like y'all said, he was nice in the background. He didn't really come out in front and was on the battlefield. He was sort of in the background as a mentor, and I appreciated that. I think that right there needed to be done because him on the battlefield, like, the nigga ain't shit. He kind of wasn't shit this film either. Like, he was getting his ass beaten that dream sequence. So, I mean, that fucking mind battle. So, I don't know, man.
He's Professor X, man. I mean, like, he does what Professor X does. Like, he did get taken over when Cerebro was, like, being turned on and everything. But then at the end of the film, he's like, oh, yeah, you already let me inside of your mind. And then he got the lost love. And that's pretty much what Professor X does. Like, he does everything in that little seat, just using his mind. He doesn't get up and try and punch somebody. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost, I don't know if you get what I mean when I say this, but he was always playing Jean Grey in the first 2 movies he was in. He was just walking around using his psychic abilities and stuff. And it's like, wrong character, man. And now he's playing the right character.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, let's move on to somebody different. Apocalypse. I was going to say Cyclops. Apocalypse. Let's get the main characters out of the way first. Apocalypse. What are your thoughts on Apocalypse?
All right, I'm gonna start off. Okay. Obviously, he doesn't look like Apocalypse, but he was talking that shit. Like, no boy, like, you actually believe what the stuff he was talking about, and you can see why people will follow him. He had, like I said, he had that power of persuasion on him, man. He was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he knew how to talk.
I mean, like, he did what most people do. Like, he was really a cultist, wasn't he? Like, he'd go for the weak.
And Apocalypse doesn't know what a mutant is. That's one thing I call in this movie. I think that's the major between him and Magneto. He doesn't. Cause remember, he's from this ancient time in Egypt where he was the first mutant. He doesn't know what a mutant. He always saw himself as a god. Okay. And he thought these were all gods. He thought Magneto and them, they were gods. He doesn't know what a mutant is. I think that's why him and Magneto had the big difference in their idea, where Magneto wants all mutants, and Apocalypse wants the strong people. Because, like I said, he was the first one. He doesn't know what he's been sleeping for like the past 1,000 years. He just woke up yesterday. He doesn't know what he just thinks they're gods. And he thinks, okay, the strong ones are going to survive. Those are the ones I'm going to be with, and the weak ones are going to die. I don't care about them, like a god would. Like,
yeah, that's actually a good point right there.
And I think he was. Like I said, he didn't look like Apocalypse, but he was actually a pretty good villain. I liked him.
I'm gonna go next then, man. I completely disagree with you, man. I don't think he. I mean, I do agree that he thought everybody was God and shit like that, but I didn't fuck with his character. I didn't feel like he was menacing or anything. I felt no danger. I was like, this nigga just a pimp. Like, he just. he whispers sweet nothings in their ear, and they following him. I never felt like he was a threat to civilization, even though he was doing all them crazy CGI. I mean, that was really Magneto mostly.
And another thing, like, the way you could tell he thought he was a guy was when he took all the nukes, instead of just dropping the nukes, he just put them into space.
Oh yeah.
As to say that all y'all rely on y'all weapons. Well, I just got rid of them, and I'm gonna show you I can take over this world without any weapons, just myself. Like,
yeah, but I never felt his threat though. He should have. There should have been like a major second act where he killed some shit or did some crazy off the wall shit that made humanity fear him. But I never really felt like he was like people should fear him. They didn't really set him up to be a great villain to me.
I feel like the most deadly thing he did was turn a nigga to sand. It's just like, okay, all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, sometimes I just felt like that shit didn't even make sense even when he did that. I'm like, where you getting this sand from, bro? Like, what's going on?
Like, and they never. Another thing is they never explain his fucking power. Like, what all can this nigga do? They never explained that.
Pretty much what they explained is that he's a Orochimaru. That nigga just takes jutsu from people moving from one vessel to another. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's really all that nigga does.
But they should have at least told us all he can, like. They need to give us some type of explanation. Like, come on, like, this nigga just.
Also, the film never addressed the fact that that Apocalypse was picked the cripple as his next vessel. That nigga about to be in a wheelchair. If he took over Professor X's body.
I thought about that too. I said, "He about to be in a wheelchair." Like,
I just gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, man, he gonna be able to walk. I never thought that he was gonna be crippled when he went into Professor X's body. I never thought that shit.
Oh man, that's how you gonna make me around. You gonna push him around in that wheelchair.
That shit is funny though. That nigga's gonna be he was about to be crippled as fuck.
No, I feel like you see that nigga when he woke up and he's like, oh wait, I'm in that nigga's body. I feel like the way he realized that was I could still move my legs. I should be able to move my legs.
Yeah, and the reason I'm so mad about them not making him menacing and them not really explaining his powers is, if you explained his powers, it would have made sense how he was defeated, and they didn't do that. It felt like they was just let's make him let's throw everything at him and he's gone, and let's make her that shit didn't move me, man. I don't know. I feel like he was weak.
It's once again like he's exactly the thing we were talking about before. Like it's just poor writing with a good actor. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a guy playing the role well, but there's really not much substance. Really, all he did was grab a bunch of people, be like, "Oh, you have more potential." Sets them out to a war that was not decided by anyone, and chooses to fight one group of mutants in the entire world, right? And then based on the little knowledge he got from a TV in Egypt, right? Yeah. And then that nigga loses in that fight, and that's the end of the movie. Like, really, it was a really horrible plan.
Yeah, it was a terrible plan, and like he should have put a shield on Professor X, because like he helped Professor X help them niggas get a drop on them. Like he should have known better. He's supposed to be this all powerful mutant.
He doesn't have the. I mean, he couldn't do that. He doesn't have mind powers or the psychic ability. He was only able to go to Professor X because Professor X got to him. He just reversed it on him. Like,
okay, true. But I mean, Magneto was there. He should have told him, like, you can't trust this nigga X, though. He tricky. You know,
he obviously told him something if he gave Magneto his helmet. Like,
oh yeah, it's true. But like, I just felt like he didn't do. He needed a major event where he fucked shit up for me to actually.
I thought they tried to do that with the missile thing and it just didn't work.
Yeah, that shit was stupid. You send him in the nigga, drop them on people. Why you sending them in the sky?
I mean, if he drops them on people, then he's just doing Sebastian Stan's plan. He has to do it himself, man. He has to prove that he's stronger than everybody.
You know what Apocalypse and like his 4 horsemen look like to me? They look like you know when you see a group of people and there's obviously one that everybody looks to as the leader, but then there's there's one nigga you wouldn't want to fuck with because he's tall as fuck and shit like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone knows Magneto is the goddamn leader, but Apocalypse is the leader anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like it looked like it was Magneto's team, and if it really needed to be, it would be Magneto's team. It felt like Magneto's team.
Yeah, I can't lie though. When all 5 of them were standing on that cliff. And they look cool as fuck together.
Oh yeah,
they did.
In my mind, I'm like #squad. Like,
oh god. Hey, actually, I just realized something. Apocalypse was a come-up story, wasn't it? That nigga went from rags, and now he's like, "Oh, my boy's got swag now."
but you know what? And even with that being said, like even out the major event, they could have at least showed him fuck up the other mutants. All they showed was him getting his ass beat by Quicksilver a little bit, then him putting sand on that nigga feet. And all of a sudden, everybody was attacking him. He choked out fucking Mystique and whatnot, but he didn't really fuck shit up like that. He should like the old Apocalypse in the cartoon was fucking everybody up. He was throwing niggas and shit.
That nigga was a force of nature. Like, here's the thing, man. You have to understand that nigga Apocalypse is 7 feet tall. And that nigga Oscar Isaac is like 5'4".
I mean, wait, but he was tossing around Professor X though, remember?
That fucking dream shit.
Well done. You were tossing a nigga in a wheelchair. Congratulations.
I know he was beating a nigga. He was beating the cripple. Man. Get the fuck out of here.
I know, right?
He was whooping his ass though.
Look, X-Men Apocalypse 2, he's gonna go to orphanage and beat up little kids, man. That's what he's gonna do.
He was legit throwing him around the bench.
That nigga felt like the worst bully in high school. He was giving that nigga noogie and shit. He was beating the shit out of X, dog.
Wait, you know what my favorite part was? My favorite part was when Apocalypse just shows up out of nowhere and he's inside the mansion. And that nigga just like, come over here, Xavier. That nigga's knocked out.
Oh, he just brought him
dragging his wheelchair. And I'm just like,
he didn't even pull him over. Magneto pulled him over.
Oh, did he? Oh my god, that's amazing. Like, he's just like... See what I mean? Magneto's that leader, man. He just didn't have enough lines in that script.
And the shit funny because as soon as Magneto came onto the scene, everybody else behind Apocalypse was like, "Oh my god, it's Magneto!" Like they were all starry-eyed and shit. They didn't give a fuck about Apocalypse.
You know what else? Like it's like even in like the news and stuff like that, no one in Egypt was reporting, "Oh, the ancient god Apocalypse, Al Shah-Nur or whatever his name is, has come back to life." No one cared about that. They were like, Magneto is back, and it's just like, God damn it! You see what I'm saying? Like,
nobody knew about Apocalypse. That's why.
Some ancient. No, weren't there people worshiping him? Like in the thing? Like,
yeah, like a few people. There's like 3 people. Right. Like
that is true. That was only like 4 people.
He stayed hidden until the end when he came at the end. That big ass. I don't know what his plan was, But that big ass thing. And then can I say the funniest part of the entire movie to me, has to do with Apocalypse, was I don't care. I actually laughed out loud in the movie theater. Was when Magneto went back to his work. And he was about to kill everybody.
Oh yeah.
And then Apocalypse, Storm, Psylocke, and Angel just popped up behind him. And he gave him this big heartfelt speech. And it just popped up. He turned around. Who the fuck are you?
Like, why are you interrupting me killing all these people?
Yo, he said that. He's done that a couple times in this movie. He did the exact same shit in that scene where Mystique is trying to convince him that he should do good and that he still has family with him. And then, like, he looks at Quicksilver. He's like, "And who are you?"
Oh yeah.
He does the exact same shit in that scene. It's just like, I'm trying to fight for my family too. Like, nigga, you should have. You see what I'm saying?
That scene was better. He looked defeated. He came in there like he was ready to kill. He was gonna kill everybody. He was talking like, "Oh, I'm gonna show." He said, "Imagine the person you love the most in the world. Now they will know what it's like to lose a loved one." He started going in on this speech. I'm like, "Oh man, he's about to cry and everything." He just
you know the worst part was. You know the worst part was when Apocalypse, like, you know when he killed all of them for him, like. Even when they were on the ground, you still see niggas' legs twitching and shit. That shit freaked the hell out of me. I'm like, God damn, these niggas still alive and they're dying.
Alright, we got oh, my bad, Mo. We got two more main characters, then I'm gonna ask you overall the rest of the characters. We got only people we got left is Cyclops and Jean Grey. Those are the last two main villains.
We're not gonna talk about Psylocke? Or
yeah, we're gonna talk about them, but they're gonna be lumped in all together because they didn't do shit. So let's talk about Cyclops. I mean, you can be brief as you want to be, but talk about Cyclops.
Y'all finished or are y'all done?
Yeah, let's talk about Cyclops and Jean Grey. Actually, we can throw them together because they were in a relationship.
Yeah, we definitely could.
Let's talk about both of the characters. Go ahead.
I definitely, like, I don't know what it was, but I really did like Scott, like, Summers' journey in this movie, like, where he went from being the kid that was like the bully, like generic high school bully dude, tries to say some shit and then nigga says some shit back, and then that bully just shows up trying to beat the shit out of him, and like when he goes to like the bathroom or some shit, and then that nigga his powers surface and everything, and from that point all the way up to becoming an X-Man, it was really cool, and I like how there were callbacks to the older movies, like, you know how like he's eventually dating Jean Grey in the other movies, and there's a straining relationship between Jean Grey and Wolverine. Remember that whole thing they had in the earlier movies?
Yeah.
And then there was just a moment where you know when Wolverine appears, and then that nigga Scott Summers was just like, yeah, that guy was weird or some shit like that. He said something.
He said, we'll never see him again.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, he's gonna come back and he's gonna steal your bitch. That's what's gonna happen. That's what I was thinking.
He's gonna stab your bitch too and kill her, man. So.
Exactly, man.
No, he not. The timeline got changed.
No. What I've learned so quickly is that regardless what timeline you're in, Wolverine still fucks your bitch. Like, that always stays. Wolverine fucks everyone's bitch. Anyway,
you saw how now this is a little side note. We saw how Magneto was looking at Jean Grey. It might be Magneto that steal his bitch this time. Remember at the end when they was putting the house back together and Magneto was kind of licking his lips out?
And they looked at smile because they're building a house, dog. They ain't done up yeah. You looking too deep into it.
Magneto getting into that pussy, man.
But she like 16.
She a mutant, man. She a mutated, powerful woman, man. You know.
So mutants don't have age now.
I get apparently not. Shit, he trying to fuck something, dog. But let's get back to it. Let's go ahead, Mo. Finish up.
I mean, another really cool moment was, I can't remember who exactly gave this response, but I like to see him, like, you know, after, like, obviously Havoc died in the accident where the house gets blown up again, because, you know, every movie has to have the mansion blow up.
Again?
Yeah.
Wait, this is the first time the mansion blew up in the movies.
Didn't it get all messed up in Lost Stand?
Yeah, but no. It was still there.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I don't know.
That's why people will laugh at in the Deadpool movie. He said the mansion gets blown up. Like, the mansion never got blown up in the movies. In the comic book, it gets blown up every issue. But
oh goodness! You see, they all just became one thing to me. I don't even know. Anyway, I mean, the way I feel about it is that the mansion blew up and everything. And I feel as if like the actor did good, man. Like, I think I'm not in the minority when I think that the Cyclops in the earlier movies, from X1 to 3, was complete trash. He was whack. He was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I did not like his. And in this movie, he was solid, man. Like, I liked him. I liked Cyclops in this movie, and I liked his progression from being this person that. I said this before, but like his powers too. Like, he went from shades, and by the end of the movie, he was using his visor, and that was really cool too. And like I said, his brother died, and then I think someone delivered the line where they said that he always thought of you as the person that was gonna grow up to be someone great. And then I was like, we see those movies, you don't grow up to be shit. But that's really how I feel. I feel as if that's the problem with having movies that take place after these ones. Everyone's all hopeful and shit. It's just like, nah.
Nah, y'all gotta remember, those movies didn't happen no more, man. It's a completely different thing.
But in my head, they did. I'm sorry.
Okay, but it's not gonna happen in the future. It's gonna be a totally different future for all of them.
You telling me that girl's not gonna grow up to be Halle Berry?
Nope.
No, but hopefully not. Goddamn it, because Halle Berry, she sucked ass, and she's for some reason she's sucking superhero films. All that, just don't cast her no more. But yeah, I mean, I really, I'm taking back what I said earlier, because what I said earlier that I like Magneto the most, and I kind of take that back, because I did kind of fucks with Jean Grey and Cyclops' relationship. I mean, they were pretty good in this film. Like, I mean, the chick from Game of Thrones, she did well. She was doing well, and I like all of their interactions and how they first met and shit. And he couldn't see this, so he didn't know how bad she was. But then
I love that. That nigga was talking so much. That nigga was talking that good shit, and then as soon as he could see, he's like, "I'm walking up to that tree and I'm gonna say what's up, man." He's like, I love that.
Give me some of that, yeah. So I appreciated that right there, and Cyclops was good. Like I like the two characters together. Like you said, I like his backstory and how he came to be, and I like that he wasn't a pushover. Like, I like how he would talk shit to the bully early on and stuff like that. He wasn't really a little bitch in the film. And then Jean Grey was good too. So I mean, I fuck with them. I like their development, but I felt like they developed too quickly. That was one thing I will say about the film. I think they developed way too fast. This bitch instantly became the Phoenix, and that nigga instantly was able to use the device. Like, it just...
Oh, yeah, that Phoenix... Like relates back to the thing I said before. It really does feel like a movie where Bryan Singer wanted to make his X-Men free, but he never got to make. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to make the Phoenix in a movie. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, and he did in this one. It's just like, it had the progression.
The first thing is about the Phoenix, I thought they actually kind of set it up good when she was having the visions. Well, Apocalypse, easy to see the fire in the background. Okay, maybe. She seen the Apocalypse, I think she sees the Phoenix too. And then they just used the Phoenix to beat Apocalypse. I was like, oh,
I have a question.
That's what they doing.
Josh, you're also familiar with the comic books and stuff, and I have a question for you. Like in the comics, you know how like the Phoenix is a cosmic entity. Like,
yeah, from
it's
space.
not. Yeah, it's not actually a thing. Like, it's not a thing that's a part of her power. It's something that chose her, and she becomes the Phoenix. You know what I'm saying?
I hope that's what they do. I hope.
So my thing is, when she was using the power in this movie, was it just an extension of her telekinetic abilities? Like, is it something that she had within her? Like, is it her next stage of evolution?
I feel like that question will be answered in the sequels.
You mean the sequel that takes place 10 years later? Then it's just like, and then you mean the movie that also features Jubilee as an adult that no one wants to see? I think
that's because they are talking about X-Men in space.
Okay.
God damn it! Oh, what are they gonna do?
Everyone know the X-Men go to space every month, so like this should be good.
All right, now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk about the rest of the characters. Did you like any of the rest of the characters that I didn't mention?
Yes.
Yes. Right, go ahead, Josh.
Jubilee was fine, man.
Quicksilver scene where he said everyone for the mansion was better than his Days of Future Past scene.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was close. I wouldn't say it was better.
I liked it more. I liked Quicksilver. I like when he just walked up to Apocalypse and was like, he started punching him around. That shit had me mad.
That made me mad. I was like, man, Apocalypse supposed to be stronger than this. You let this nigga beat your ass like this. Come on.
Man, you can't see him. Like,
I didn't give a fuck, man.
I don't like that he didn't tell Magneto he was his son. Because I feel like that could have ended everything. Magneto's all like doing this because his family died. He could be like, "Hey, I'm your family too."
That would have made the most sense rather than him feeling sorry for fucking Mystique and Professor. Like, come on, that would have made the most sense for him to like, oh, that's my son. Now let me stop. That would have made the most sense, but they didn't go that route.
I mean, like,
even though I don't like that. Go ahead. Yeah, even though I didn't like that, I liked Quicksilver. Even though she didn't do a damn thing in the movie but beat Beast ass, I like Psylocke.
God. I love Psylocke was great.
She was the perfect henchman.
She was
perfect.
Can I say, look. Do you know what my favorite part about Psylocke was? My favorite part about Psylocke was her exit of the movie was, oh, so we're done fighting and shit, and I still get to keep the costume and the powers? Alright, I'm leaving. That was her entire exit of the movie.
She was the definition of a henchman. She didn't do nothing out of place. She did what she was told, and she whooped ass and she had to whoop ass.
Yeah.
That's what a henchman's supposed to do.
Also, Olivia Munn, man, my goodness,
she still look good. How old is she now? She still look good. She's still bad.
Olivia Munn.
That's all I was thinking when I saw her, like Olivia. I didn't care. Nobody cared like Olivia Munn.
I was like, I don't even know, man. She looks so good in that costume.
Who else?
Yeah, she did.
I like Nightcrawler. I like them.
Yeah, I ain't like.
I like Caliban.
That nigga.
I like Caliban in the movie. I think Caliban was creepy as hell.
Even though it's his character to be creepy and in the background, I still didn't fuck with that nigga.
Like, I don't know. Wait. I actually laughed at the end when they beat a pug. That nigga just woke up screaming. I actually laughed.
Oh god, I like Nightcrawler. Let me say this. I think Nightcrawler has, like, for most of my life, been my favorite X-Men. Kind of. I'm not sure, but yeah, but he's been up there. Like, and my thing is that I don't think there's been a bad on-screen Nightcrawler so far, because I like the guy next to. Like, he was really good, and I like this version of the character too. But I don't know. Like, I feel as if the guy that plays him has a weird ass face.
Yeah, you got
Nightcrawler. You know what I mean? It's just like, besides that, I feel as if everything's good. He got the character right, the accent right, and I like the fact that he's like got the authentic German voice. Like, that was done to a T. Yeah. I don't know, man. And I also, sorry, we we're talking about all of the different characters in the movie that we liked. I liked Storm for the most part.
Yeah, I'm about to say next. I like Storm.
I mean, here's the thing.
You know what?
Her accent was good at times, and her accent was trash at times. Like,
I wouldn't even say her accent. I thought her accent was pretty good throughout, but I just was mad that they didn't give her enough to do. That was my only issue with Storm.
She's still a teenager. She's obviously part of the X-Men from here.
No, you can't do that excuse, because they got fucking Jean Grey and Scott. They doing shit, and they fucking.
But Jean Grey and Scott been always been the leaders though.
Like, wasn't Storm one of the first X-Men Professor X filed?
Yeah,
but
I mean,
right now she's always the leader. Like,
but the thing is that Professor X has always said that if he ever dies, the person that's going to take over the school is Storm.
Yeah, she'll take over the school. She wouldn't take over leading the X-Men.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that's true.
Man, fuck that shit, man.
Cyclops has always been the leader of the X-Men.
Man, fuck Cyclops.
Until Schism, and he decided to become Magneto 2.0, and then Wolverine started leading the X-Men.
Goddamn. Yeah. Man, fuck
I like Storm a lot. I liked her a lot. Like, I don't know.
Who is it? Oh, Storm. Like, my thing with Storm was that, like, I really liked her, and then I always go back to the idea that this bitch had a Mystique poster in her room. I can't respect that.
I was like, what the? I mean, and that's right. That kind of ruined it, because we knew she was good right off the bat because of that Mystique thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
I mean, it didn't really ruin it. She saw somebody using their powers against, like what she told Apocalypse, there's laws you have to follow. You can't just go around doing it. He said, nah, you don't have to. She saw somebody who could just do stuff freely. She was just following him. I mean, she was a kid. She was a kid.
I mean, but it would have made more sense to have a fucking Magneto poster.
No.
I mean, here's the thing. Like,
Magneto was seen as public enemy number one.
Yeah, it's like you having a picture of Hitler on your on your wall.
No. It's like being a black person and having Malcolm X on your wall instead of Martin Luther King, though. That's what it's exactly like to me.
I don't know about that.
Because if you think about it, Malcolm X was seen as public enemy number one too, but black people still fuck with them because they knew better.
Yeah, but he didn't go to the White House and put a big dome around it and kill everybody with giant robots, though.
I know, man. Now I think about that, Yeah, now I think about the thing that I said is that it's kind of messed up how the nigga that was actually in the Holocaust is seen as the Hitler of that world. Like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of messed up.
Yeah, but what do y'all? We didn't talk about this nigga at all. What about Archangel? Angel.
He's whack. He's whack. That nigga died, man. Like, he served no purpose, man.
Oh, he did die, didn't he?
Look, you know what? Like, there was certain moments in that movie where I was just like, this is dumb. Like, let me put it this way. Like, when Jennifer Lawrence tried to do the German accent, that was dumb. And another dumb moment was when Psylocke is on a plane, and the guy with wings is on a plane, and one of them has to get out. It's always the guy with the wings that gets out, because, I don't know, maybe you can fly? Like,
I was like, what the fuck? Why are you just gonna die like this?
God damn it, man! But you have to admit, his wings were cool, man. He had like little like blades, like for the wings. I don't know.
That was all they were cool for. Like, nigga, come on. Didn't Nightcrawler beat his ass in the cage?
Yeah, he did. He's what happened was that the walls like zapped, like they were like electricity would come out of them. Then that nigga Nightcrawler kicked him into them, and he ruined his wings.
Oh yeah, awesome. and that's why he was drinking and shit because it's fighting. Okay. Let's I mean that's pretty much the review. I mean, my last and final thought was the film was decent. Hated the fighting. The fighting was trash. That shit was ass to me. Like I wanted to see hand to hand combat, especially with Psylocke and of course Beast. And they did a little bit with them, but that fight was trash to me. It just whoever choreographed the fight scenes don't know what the fuck they doing. Them fights was not good at all. I think Batman Superman had better fights. Batman vs Superman had way better fights. Every movie had better fights than this movie. I don't know what it is about directors that.
You mean way better fight? Because it was a single fight, really.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, no, both of the fights they had with the ugly ass fucking what's that nigga name?
Doomsday.
Yeah, Doomsday.
Okay, you took concern with that fight.
The last time the X-Men movies actually had a good fight was when Wolverine fought Lady Deathstrike in X2. That was back in 2002. Like, that was like the last good fight the X-Men movies had. That's like the only good fight they ever had.
I mean, speaking of Wolverine, I didn't like his fight either. People were saying it was crazy good, but like,
What fight? He just ran around killing people. He had no fight.
That wasn't like nothing super spectacular to me anyway. Like, people was going crazy about that scene. It was like, oh my god. Weapon X, oh my god, Wolverine, this is the one I wanted to see. Like, no, that shit didn't show no real type of blood. Like, come on, we fuck out of here. That shit was alright.
Oh, we saw blood. We just didn't.
Man, I don't know, man. But
I mean, like, really, what I think of the film is this is like just based like dead bones. What I think of the film is that it is the most vanilla superhero movie that we've gotten in a while. It's really basic, but it's not bad. It's good even, but it's like if you're choosing like to watch Civil War or Deadpool or anything like that, like it's not the best superhero film that came out this year. It's not even the best Fox superhero film that came out this year. But if you have the time, you should definitely see it.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree with you. This should definitely see it, but I agree that it was basic.
And also, we never actually said this. I don't think it's as good as the last two movies.
Oh yeah, I think the first movie was the best, first class. Then David Fast the second best, this was the third. But I don't think this movie was bad. I think it was a good movie to watch it. Especially if you like, if you want to continue the X-Men story, you definitely should watch it. Oh, one more Bryan Singer. Don't think your ass is going to get away from this. At the end of Days of Future Past, when Stryker took away Wolverine's body and his eyes flashed and it was Mystique. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't think he was going to get away from this. Apparently, he did that. Remember how this movie, the real Stryker came and he actually had the Wolverine the whole time? I was like, wait. The whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, how's Mystique playing this? I'm thinking, okay, Mystique is going to set Wolverine free. And I didn't going to get out. That nigga actually said, oh, we only did that just to have a dramatic ending to the last movie. So what? So he had no plan with it at all. Like,
that nigga's he's an idiot. That's what he is. He's legitimately stupid.
The guy playing Stryker didn't even know he was playing Mystique. He thought he was playing Stryker, and at the end they said, you know what, let's just change his color just to give it a dramatic. It seems like they're just at the end. I'm like, oh, word. So watch Days of Future Past, just forget that scene ever happened. Just Stryker took Wolverine. That's what happened.
And if we're gonna just sit here and assume Bryan Singer's watching our videos, I might as well say you need to stay away from those black costumes, man. Add in a little bit of color, man. We need real costumes in this bitch. Man.
I was so happy at the end when they got their real costumes. I was like, finally, like.
Oh,
you know exactly what that was.
I better not see another black suit from here on out.
Yeah, Psylocke,
you know exactly what that was.
Psylocke looked good in that costume, especially her. Yeah. But
you want to know what that was in there?
Olivia was the reason she wearing that costume. He wanted to give her a black costume. Olivia Munn said, "No, I want to wear the Psylocke costume."
Oh, that shit is fire.
And that nigga was like, "Yeah, okay, Olivia Munn, I can get you in that skin tight costume anytime."
I know, right?
Even though it didn't match up with the rest of the Horsemen, it was still dope.
Yeah,
didn't need to. Like if you pick 4 random people, why would it match? It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I'm saying all their costumes, like the 4 Horsemen, Apocalypse, they had like a certain look to them. Hers didn't look anything like that.
Yeah, it's true. It's not Metallica. Yeah, that's what we really have to say, right?
Yeah, that's it right there, man. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.